about someone who fights every single day. If you see any of her Instagram about her sparring, she fights all the time. The one and the only Gillian the Savage Robertson. I pushed the button. What's working? All right, there it is. G looks sun-kissed again. G.
It's just a thing right now. I'm like, literally, I don't know. I've been hippie in it a lot.
What a life. Gillian Robertson. Did you have a good July 4th, G?
Yeah, no, I guess on the note of sun, we haven't had any for like 2 weeks. It's been pure rain down here. So July 4th was absolutely storming. The last 3 days, though, I've went to the gym in the morning, trained at like 8 a.m., and then headed straight to the pool after. So it's been good days.
You made up for last week, for sure.
Exactly.
What a life. What a life. A life of a UFC superstar, Gillian Robertson, training and then beach and pool time. We had Elle was at a July 4th beach party singing Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice was there and Young MC. It was like all the 90s artists. It was dope.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was very nostalgic. It was fun.
Didn't Vanilla Ice get into like housing, like buying real estate and house shows?
Oh, yeah. He's like, the dude's a killer businessman.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
smart guy.
He's killing it out there.
He really is. He really is.
Like some new Vanilla Ice music, and everybody was like, "Okay."
Nah,
and then
I just want the old hits.
And everybody's like, "Oh, okay, that's why we're here. We're here to be nostalgic."
G is way younger than us. G, were you? Did you hear Vanilla Ice back in the day? Was that a thing? Or
I know some Ice baby.
Okay.
Did you watch the Ninja Turtle movies with he like raps the theme song?
No, I did not.
That's too old. That's too old for something.
Gillian's way too young.
Close in age.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Elle's not that much older than me.
You just turned 30?
Yeah, I just turned 30.
We're basically the same age. We're like a year apart.
Oh no, Elle, you're way older than G.
Apparently.
All right. Before we have a fun little fighting title thing that we're going to get into that I did not give Gillian any information on, so that's going to be amazing. But beforehand, we had really cool news over the weekend, G. I think we talked about it a couple weeks. You said it could maybe be in motion. I think they made a really good post about it yesterday, I believe. You have some cool kind of fight and management news, right?
Oh, yeah. I guess management news more than anything else. I'm working with Vayner Sports now, which I'm super excited to be with. I feel like everything that, I don't know, I'm kind of like jaded from management companies in the past. I haven't had the best luck with them. And obviously we're early into the steps right now, but they give me a lot of confidence. I feel like I'm in good hands with Vayner, and I'm really excited for this opportunity.
That's awesome.
Don't
I heard really good things about them.
Huh?
I've heard really good things about them.
Yeah, me too. Don't they represent Gary V? Isn't Gary V involved with them?
Well, it's his, I guess, like his management company.
Oh,
like
that's why
his last name is Vaynerchuk, so the Vayner Sports is the beginning of that. So yeah, I'm assuming it's like he's either created it, he's the name of it, he's the head of it in some way.
Right.
But yeah, I really like. They only manage like a small amount of fighters. Yeah. Which I feel like is very unique to management companies, where a lot of times you just see them trying to sign everybody and anybody, and then it's like they don't really have a lot of time for all those fighters. Right. Where I feel like we had a meeting last week. They're saying they only have 24 fighters currently signed and only one other female. So I'm like, it's a nice small group to be a part of, and yeah, like I said, I'm really excited to get into it.
For sure. I use this about life all the time, and this is probably going to go over both of your guys' head. Jared Maguire, he was a sports agent. Tom Cruise played him during a movie, I think 94, 96, somewhere in that range. And like his big thing was like he wanted less clients, but wanted more like intimacy and communication. He wanted to be more connected. And of course, you don't want to tell that to your boss. Like they want more and more and more and more money. He's like, no, I want to do less and do it better. And I think in the long run, it will be better. So this reminds me so much of that. It's like, it's less, but it looks like it's like 10 times better for especially you, the patron, the person, the customer.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I've worked with 2 other managers in the past. And like I said, I'm kind of jaded from them because of that reason. Exactly. I'm like, they sign every fighter, and then I'm like, hey, remember me? I'm giving you guys 20% of my paycheck. What's going on with my career? What's going on with my sponsorships? And it's like, you really get like, my last two managers, I ended up paying them more than they brought me. And I'm like, this feels a little bit backwards here.
Yeah. And we talked about this on air. We talked about it off air. Like a mixed martial artist, a UFC fighter, it's a short career. You guys can't fight forever. Like it's one of those things. So to have things set up in the future for you, and also just like the money part, like sometimes they'll look and once in a while, like a purse will get leaked and like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. Yeah, it's a lot of money for this fight, but how about Gillian's amateur career and at the beginning of your professional career? And what are you going to do at 45, 55, 60? It's a lot. And I think a management like manner can kind of set you up, I believe, long term. That's at least probably some of it. So.
Oh yeah, and they actually work with I guess like outside of fighting too. Like they have Michelle Watterson on their roster as well, but not as a fighter anymore. So they're getting her like movies, her like like her sports gigs, her commentating gigs, things like that. They're helping her set up her career post fighting as well.
Talking about that, I did call you 3 days ago about a commentary gig that you turned us down. So just wanted the David Sports Alliance, I'm G's number one always agent, but it is what it is, G. It's all good. It's all good. I'm gonna call L off air later about it.
A commentary gig and possible fight time.
Yeah, I know, my fault. Dude, you said something there amazing. Would you do movies in the future? Like I seen like Michelle Watterson, some stuff. Like you'd be an awesome, like I think you're gonna take this the best way possible. You'd be a great bad guy sidekick, like as the awesome girl who beats up the people. They always have those in those big action movies. Gee, you would be amazing at it.
Why do I gotta be the sidekick?
No.
What's that? what is the movie I'm thinking of? I can't remember what it was.
Fast and Furious, or there was that awesome. Didn't Gina Serrano do one lately? Like
she was in The Mandalorian, and she was awesome in that.
Oh yeah. There you go.
She was also in the Deadpool one, the first.
Yes,
Deadpool
that's what it is.
Yeah.
I could do. Like you could be in Deadpool, G.
No, I'm like, it's definitely something I feel like I might be interested in. Obviously, that I think that is also like, I don't know, it's a huge step to be able to make it to that level. But I'm like, it's definitely something I'd be down to do if the opportunity came my way.
It was Rhonda in Entourage. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh,
sorry, not even close. But that would be dope. That would
Gillian as a movie star would just be.
I gotta get like the Conor McGregor in Roadhouse Park at the mean, the evil villain, but like main character role.
There you go.
I can't imagine you playing a villain. I don't know.
No, in real life, they say the nicest people can play the bad guys the best. And why is they know it's like the exact opposite of who we are. You are like, I think in a bad role as a movie, I think I would be amazing. I think I would be an awful bad guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too highly of myself. We'll talk about this later. We'll talk about that later. All right, let's get into this championship thing. This is G, what did you think? We talked about it for the first hour about the White House show, the UFC at the White House. Did you like that idea? Is that something that even interests you? Is that just something good for the sport? What's your first take when that took over the MMA outlet news for 4 days?
It was definitely kind of mind-blowing, I guess, from the beginning. Just to see our sport going to the White House is just a huge move. I don't know how it can not be good for the sport, putting just more eyes on it, getting it more mainstream even. I remember whenever the UFC was first trying to get started in the 90s, there was a lot of politicians coming out and being like, this is human cockfighting, this shouldn't be done. And now to see politicians getting behind it, it's definitely making it so it's more mainstream and accepted in society. So I don't think it cannot be a good thing for the sport, And
like we were talking about earlier too, one of the few people that stood up for the UFC back in the 90s was Donald Trump. So it's just like a full circle moment here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of the I can't remember what it was. One of the early UFCs, they didn't have a venue, and Trump Towers ended up being the venue. So I'm like, he's always been a huge supporter since the early days, really.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you guys both said it, and I said it at the beginning too. It's just more than anything, I don't care what side you're on. I don't care what kind of relationship or person that you think our president is for the sport that we love and Gillian makes money fighting on, and Elle's husband in the UFC right now makes money providing for their future family fighting on. Like, it is such a great thing for what else?
I said Elle makes no money.
Dude, I'm telling you, gain 15 pounds. Elle, you would be a good, strawweight.
I'm so small.
You versus Michelle Watterson, dude. My point is, it's just great for the UFC to make money and to get more eyes on it, to be at the White House. It's great for all of us. Like, anyone that's participate or attached to MMA, the UFC, it's great. Great news. All right. I got a fun game, G. You can go last because I didn't give you any forewarning. That's on me. That's my fault. All right. I'll take responsibility.
These are never fun games.
Little on it. What'd you say?
So these are never fun games.
There's no point system, right?
No point system. They're just right or wrong. All right. So we all have the champions. We know right now, strawweights, Wei Li, featherweights, Valentina, bantamweight, Kayla Harrison. To the men, we know Pantoja, Marab, right? We all know the champions. We're going to go who will be the next champion for each champion. Like right now, if we said who's the next strawweight champion, the heavyweight, middleweight, we're going to say our name. We might totally agree. We might totally disagree. And of course, timing has some stuff to do with it because there's guys already with championship fights in tow. But do we feel good about we know the game? We feel good?
I don't know if we feel good, but I know the game.
Oh.
That's fair.
Maybe how about this? How about, dude,
some time.
Would you want to be the judge and it's me versus Elle?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for that.
Let's do that. Okay.
Remember, Gillian, all the ridiculous point systems that Dave has put us through.
Dude, Gillian is a very unbiased judge, and when my answers are the more correct answers, she will know. All right, here we go. Strawweight. Let's start with the females in the strawweight division. Elle, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go ahead.
Okay. Oh, so the next UFC strawweight champion will be the one and only, the greatest female mixed martial artist of all time, Gillian the Savage Robertson.
So obviously that's the right answer, but Dave, you didn't say how it would happen. So the way this is going to happen, obviously, is Wei Li's not fighting at 115 again. She's going to go up and fight Valentina. So okay. Gillian is going to fight Verna Jandiroba for the not the interim, but the vacant strawweight title, and obviously win by TKO.
Whoa, TKO! I like that.
I think just having the backup, I that's probably about 10 points to Elle there.
Oh my goodness! All right, here we go. The next flyweight champion. To me, it's funny you said that, Elle, because you stole my flyweight champion. The next UFC female flyweight champion will be Wei Li Zhang. Wei Li will move up. Wei Li versus Valentina, and Wei Li will win the flyweight championship. My next is Wei Li.
I disagree. I think Valentina will beat Wei Li Zhang by takedown, guard, control for 5 rounds, unfortunately, and size. And I think she beats Natalia Silva maybe the same way. I'm not sure. I think the next flyweight UFC champion is going to have to wait a little bit because it's going to be Dakota Ditcheva when her PFL contract has expired.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, see, I'm I think Natalia beats Valentina. That would be my thing.
Wow. I like
it. I don't think whoever wins the belt, I will say, I think it's going to be a boring fight. I don't think it's going to be a good fight for women's MMA as a whole. I always say, on every freaking post, all the comments say, every time there's a women's fight, time for a bathroom break. I'm like,
right. The
goal is to break that stereotype. These girls winning that fight is whoever wins. I'm like, it's not going to help with that stereotype.
I unfortunately agree.
Yeah. All right. The next female bantamweight champion. So this was the hardest one for me. The guys, I think I nailed pretty good. I feel good about some of them. I got a surprise too with some guys. This one I had a hard time with, and I went back and forth. I have Kayla Harrison defeating Amanda, retaining, and then Kayla Harrison winning again, then retiring, and then in 2027, a vacant championship emerges. and the great Juliana Pena comes back to win the championship for the third time. I got Juliana Pena as the next bantamweight champion.
You might be right, but what I kind of hope happens is Kayla defeats Amanda Nunes, retires as the greatest female combat sports athlete of all time, and then the UFC cuts the bantamweight division to make way for the first UFC atomweight division, and we never have another bantamweight division ever again.
Who's the first atomweight champion of all time? What? Look at those weapons, G. Look at those weapons. L's back.
I feel like I'm making my own rules to this game now.
Oh, it's a good dude. It's your game, L. It's your game.
I honestly feel like whoever wins the Kayla Amanda, I feel like both of them retire after that.
I think you might be right.
Might be right. Wow. All right, that's tough.
Then we got Juliana champ.
I know. We got Juliana. There we go.
Division.
Third division, guys. Third division. The flyweight champion, and because I knew Gillian was going to be the judge of this, the next UFC flyweight champion, and it might not even be the next fight. It might not be the fight after that, but it will happen. The next UFC flyweight men's champion will be Joshua Van.
I don't disagree with you. I think it happens, though, because Pantoja retires. I think Pantoja is still, like, he's just the experience a little bit too much for Joshua Van at this point in time in his career. I think Pantoja probably retires as the champion or vacates to go up to fight Merab, because I just don't see him losing right now. But I absolutely think Joshua Van is ready to be a UFC champion. I just don't think he can beat Pantoja right now. I could see maybe him and Moreno fighting for a vacant belt in the next year or so. I can see that. Or
just saying that, the Moreno Van fight, whew, what a fight.
Amazing.
That'd be fun. All right, the bantamweight champion. I don't know if this is an obvious one, but I don't see Corey Sandhagen beating Merab. I think Merab is the best bantamweight fighter ever, and I think there needs to be some time. But I do think someone who has 1 round against Merab will get the job done when he's in his prime. Maybe Merab is out of his prime. I think the next bantamweight champion will be Umar Nurmagomedov.
I 100% agree with you.
Okay, there we
I
go.
think that's where we're headed.
Yeah. The next featherweight champion, to me, there's only one correct answer on this show. The undefeated, unbeatable Mozart will be the next featherweight UFC champion.
Okay, I get to go first next time because now we're just answering the same thing. No, 100%. 100%. Mozart beats Aaron Pico. The UFC can no longer deny him the title shot. Volk has already said he wants to fight Mozart. He thinks he's the most deserving. It has to happen. I think we all agree here.
Okay, lightweight, L, take it away.
All right. The next, so let's see. We got Ilya right now. We have no proper number 1 contender because this weight class is wild right now. Who defeats Ilya is the question. See, I said the next one, but I wasn't ready to go. So now I'm just stalling as I say, as I'm
Let me give you mine? I have mine.
Go ahead. Give me yours.
The next lightweight champion of the UFC.
No, don't go because I know what it's going to be. And then it's going to make me look bad.
Yes, it's Grant Dawson, people. How could you not say Grant right away? You're stalling. None of these guys can beat Ilya. No one's on his level.
I'm thinking maybe Ilya goes up. Maybe Arman and somebody else fight. Maybe Arman and Grant have to fight for the vacant UFC title. I can see because Ilya loves to go up to the next weight class before he fights everybody in his division. So who knows? Maybe he'll be at 170 fighting Islam.
I saw comments that I want to say that he said that he was thinking about that as well.
Yeah.
He has.
If Ilya does do that, guys, like it's over. Like it's this best of all time thing. Like we can just be like, we never have to have that debate or conversation. If this featherweight, after beating Volkanovski and Max Holloway, the 2 greatest ever, like the 2 best, and then moves up to lightweight. If this man moves up to welterweight and defeat Islam, like who a lot of us think is the pound for pound best of the last 5-7 years, it's over. Ilya Topuria just wins everything. Like it will be dumb at that point. It's over. So
no, I 100% agree. Like, I don't think how many triple champions in UFC. Obviously, we've got triple C, but that's different.
Yeah.
The Olympic gold medal as well. No, that would be absolutely unreal. But like, I'm trying to figure out how this plays out. I think, yeah, maybe, he beats, they have him fight Patty for some weird reason. And then he decides, I'm going to go up to 170 to fight Islam or JDM or whoever. And then the vacant belt, Arman and Grant.
Okay. Who's the next UFC men's welterweight champion now?
The next, I think it might be Sean Brady.
That's a good one.
I see JDM beating Islam. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying I can see it, and I'm leaning that way just for how well he fought Bilal. But I can't see him beating Sean. I think Sean Brady's going to get it done.
Okay, that's a good answer. Yeah, I like that we disagree. It's Islam Makhachev. I've never seen the guy lose. Don't know if he knows how to. I think he's the best fighter in the world right now. Perfect weight. I think at welterweight he won't be small either. I got Islam defeating JDM. He's the next welterweight champion.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess my thought process, I feel like if JDM beats Islam, then he definitely beats Brady. I'm like, just they're very similar styles, I'm like, I feel like if he can handle one, then it's like the second, like.
Good point, Judge. Great point, Judge. Great point.
I think they differ in a lot of styles. I feel like there's a lot of asterisks for Islam as well that I think we tend to forget about. The fact that 2 of his title defenses are against featherweights, one of which was an incredibly close fight, the other of which was on incredibly short notice. I just, when I watch the Dustin fight back, and I see, especially when I watch the Dustin fight compared to the Dustin fight versus Khabib, I don't see the same level of dominance. And I think a lot of people lose to Islam before they get in the cage. And I do not think Jack Della Maddalena will do that. That dude has a steel trap for a mind. Like, he is one of the most mentally tough guys. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think they're different fighters. I think he and Brady are very different fighters.
It's fine. And Al, I'm happy you said this. And if G don't mind, I'm going to kind of sphere this into a real quick thing. I've never understood that or debate or thrown that out there. If Khabib kept on fighting, I think sooner or later he wouldn't have looked that dominant. I think he retired early before his dominance ended. And
so you think
Islam, and I think
starting to lose a step is what you're saying.
No, I think Islam is a different fighter. I think they're different styles. I think, you ready? I think Ilya is more dominant than Islam. Islam's kind of, to me, grimy. I don't think I'm not saying he doesn't want to get punched. I'm not saying that this is going to come off with. I don't think he minds it. Like, some guys fight different styles. And to me, Islam does everything, to me, really good. Like, he's A- at everything. Where there's other fighters. Derek Lewis had a 3-fight win streak that he's knocking out guys in a minute. I still don't think he's that good. I'm sorry. I just don't. Like, I don't think he's a good mixed martial artist. He just looked more dominant during that little win streak. Again, with the Khabib, I'm not saying they're far off. I'm not saying I just think Islam's better than Khabib. I just think he's better mixed martial artist than a full mixed martial artist. I could be wrong. That's fine. That's just me. That's me.
No, I agree with you too. Even on the TV the other day, it came up just Khabib versus Conor. And I'm like, you watch Khabib on the feet, and he's lucky that he's got such a good chin. Like, he doesn't have the cleanest striking. He doesn't look the best defensively. I'm like, where Islam does look a little bit more cleaner, a little bit more precise on his feet. Yeah. So as a mixed martial artist, I would definitely give it to Islam versus Khabib is just a power force of a wrestler, then has a monster of a chin where it's like, I remember watching Khabib fight Gaethje. He got cracked sometimes and just keeps walking forward. And that's, I feel like, what made him so dangerous, because he could keep on walking forward and push you up against the cage. And it didn't matter because he had such a solid chin.
No, I don't disagree with what you guys are saying. I see Islam as maybe more well-rounded than Khabib. But the cornerstone of Islam's game is his grappling. And I think seeing Dustin hit switches on him, get back to his feet, a 45er getting back to his feet consistently, I think that looks a little bit different when you have a guy like Jack Della Maddalena. That's all I'm saying. Well, when we see Brady take people down, not a lot of people getting up.
No, I agree. And one thing I agree with that statement for sure. The one thing you said it twice now, dude, Alexander Volkanovski. Yes, he's a 145er for sure. I'll give you that when you say it like that. But I think you have a negative. He is, if not the greatest 145er ever, fighting in his home country. Only 10 pounds up. It's the tightest weight division, 145, 155. Volkan, and that was maybe prime Volk. Volk is so good. Like, I think we had an argument. Volkanovski's amazing. And he beat him twice. The second time he didn't knock him out clean.
Jack is class 2. And Volk was getting older. Jack is 28 years old. Like, I feel like you guys are discounting the age disparity too, of the fact that Jack is going through this part of his career.
Sure. No.
Where he is going to probably improve the most over the next 2 to 3 years. And then he's going to be in his prime. And
he's the champ now. He gets that champ kind of like aura to him. No, I agree. I know.
I'm not discounting Islam. The dude's goated for sure. I think his number might be up. That's all.
Okay. I respect it.
1,000 fights.
Middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight left. The next middleweight champion, Elle, would you want to go first? You want me to?
You go ahead.
Next middleweight champion, they fight in 9 weeks from now. I think I just got to go there. I actually am not picking him, but just for this game, I'm going to pick Kazmat Chimaev to be the next middleweight champion.
I actually think DDP will win that fight as well.
I do too, I think.
But I don't know that anybody beats DDP. Right?
Champion forever.
I love have you guys seen all the memes? It's like DDP wins by wearing or disguising himself with a funny mustache, or wins by a cartoon shaped impression of Khamzat Chimaev. Like, it's like the most ridiculous things ever, because we don't know how DDP wins fights, but it just seems like he doesn't know how to lose.
He's amazing.
I saw a meme once where it was saying, on paper, DDP loses every time, but he can't read.
Oh, yeah. We got that one.
100%. And it's like, I just don't know who beats him. So I know I've given this answer a couple of times, but I truly do think DDP probably retires as champ. But I could see Khamzat still becoming the next champ, because I do think he is insanely good. And I think he matches up really well against a lot of these people at the top of this division. So I'll agree with you on Khamzat, but I don't think he gets it from DDP, if that makes sense.
I respect that. The next light heavyweight champion is?
The next 205 champion? I don't think Alex Pereira can beat Ankalaev. I just don't. And like this is the issue, right, with where everybody's at right now. So there's a lot of rematches happening. And I think the fight goes the same the second time, to be honest. So I don't know who beats him either. It's
these guys do lose fights sooner or later, okay? It does happen.
Eventually, for sure. I just don't know who beats him right now. Usually it's somebody we're like surprised by, you know?
No, my heavyweight to me is a surprise.
Your heavyweight is?
Yeah.
Honestly, mine's not. If it goes along with what you
you're gonna go there. The next light heavyweight champion to me is Poatan. Poatan will get the job done. I believe in him. Have you seen him lately? He's doing CrossFit. He looks phenomenal. The best shape this man's ever looked at, and takes one punch.
The MMA fighter does less MMA and starts doing CrossFit. That's the deal breaker for Dave. That's what wins him the belt, is CrossFit.
The guy looks in shape. I was on him because he was flying around the country going to every UFC event. I feel now he's legitimately working out.
I've seen people look in shape a lot and not necessarily do great or get knocked the fuck out. So I don't think it necessarily matters. And for someone like me, who I haven't lifted a weight, done CrossFit, done any type of strength and conditioning in probably at least 5 years plus. So don't think that's an attribute that it takes to win fights.
And not to mention too, I feel like it's not like Alex lost the fight because he got tired. You know, I don't think that was the issue. He wasn't gassed. He couldn't pull the trigger because he didn't want to get taken down. And I think if he pulls the trigger, he could knock Ankalaev out, but he also could get taken down. And so it's all, if I'm erring on, okay, I'm either betting on the guy who has to get the knockout or the guy who, if he avoids getting knocked out, almost definitely wins, I'm probably going with fighter B.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, I don't know who's beating him right now. You know what? I'm gonna say Dominic Reyes is gonna just come back and tear through this division and give us the champion that we need.
There we go, L. There we go. That's the L Dawson we know and love. There we go. Dominic Reyes for L Dawson. Last one. Who will be the next heavyweight world champion? Right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall. That is the undisputed heavyweight champion. L, who do you have as the heavyweight champion next?
If this is enough, if this White House lawn fight happens, I'm going to take the GOAT. I'm going to take John Jones to come back and win the belt. I love Tom Aspinall, and I think he has the best chance of anybody of beating John Jones. But John Jones is the greatest of all time for a reason. And I think if he takes this seriously and this is enough to light a fire under his ass, I think he gets it done.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. The fighter 2024 was Poatan. The next light heavyweight champion is Poatan. The next heavyweight champion is Poatan. It's his world, folks. We are just living in it. I have Alex Poatan Pereira winning the light heavyweight championship, moving up, making a mega fight with Tom Aspinall, defeating Aspinall. I have Poatan winning the world heavyweight championship next. So
it's all that CrossFit, man.
All that CrossFit. I got to defend myself in the comment section here. Guys, you're missing what I'm saying. I'm not saying he didn't defend the shots, but he also didn't extend at all, so there was nothing to shoot on. His whole game was, I'm not going to do anything so that I can defend all the takedowns. And that's what I'm saying. If he pulls the trigger and he throws and steps into it, he's more likely to be taken down. That's all.
For sure. My next champions, I got Gillian, Weili, Pena, Van, Umar, Mosarf, Grant, Islam, Chimaev, Poatan. That's a good list.
That's a lot of Poatan here.
Poatan.
I don't even remember what my list was. I know Gia was on there and Grant's on there.
There you go. Those are two good ones.
Because I got plus 50 for her list.
What's your list, G?
I'm the scorekeeper, man.
Is there a guy or a girl that you're like, I feel super confident within the next year, 2 or 3 years, yeah, this person will be world champion?
Well, I think Gillian Robertson is the girl I'm confident in.
Me too. Us too.
For guys, I do think that Brady has a good shot up there.
Okay. Brady's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
any of the fighting nerds, does Kaio or Gene Silva, Ruffy, does any of those guys have a shot? Van, Corey Sandhagen, Cyril Gahn is probably going to be the next heavyweight contender. Does any of those guys really do it for you?
I don't think so. That Jean Silva Diego Lopez fight, I think, is super interesting.
So fun.
I'm super excited for that one, but that was the only name that kind of sticks out a little bit. I think I guess the fighting nerds in general, I think Rufy and John Silva out of that group would probably be most likely to find opportunities. But that being said, I think John Silva is the one that I kind of could see maybe shining a little bit more over the next year.
I like that. Look at that, John Silva.
He is a superstar. He really is.
That guy's good. Let me show one more picture for G, and we'll let her go. We've been doing this for 4 days now. G, we are getting in our feelings. I don't know if you've seen this on our platforms. We're 10 days away from the last dance, Jillian. It's happening. Dustin Poirier, UFC 318. We are 10 days away. How are you feeling right now about this? Where are you at emotionally?
So I don't know. I've had that it's like a UFC channel, I guess, playing all the time. And I literally, just before I hopped on here, had Dustin Poirier and Dan Hooker on. Oh. And I'm like, what a fight, so man. Good. Absolute war from top to bottom. It was just, it's an end of an era, with having Dustin retired. Just so many. He's always guaranteed to be in a banger.
For sure. It's funny you say that because if John is kind of really maybe done or one more, whatever, but like Jose Aldo just retired, Dustin's walking away. I feel like Jose of the lower weight guys, one of the GOATs, right? Dustin, one of the fun GOATs. I think soon Gaethje and Max will be gone in the next year or two most. Like it really is this passing of the era.
Dominic Cruz just retired.
Yeah, Dominic Cruz, one of the bantamweight GOATs. Unbelievable. All right. Well, last one for G. We're letting her go. Who would Gillian want to fight for a woman's BMF belt?
I know she said it'd be the only reason she unretired, but Joanna, I feel like there's nobody who can be considered the BMF in women's MMA like her. So I'm like, if there's anybody I would want to fight for it, it would be her.
That's how you end a segment. One of the best answers Gillian has ever gave on this show. It's the correct answer. Gillian receives 420 points. She is the winner of this show. There you go.
Everything. Gillian wins.
420 specifically.
There you go. You know, I'm the second best host in the business. So there you go, guys. Gillian the Savage Robertson, looking sun-kissed, looking amazing. Hopefully she had a great July 4th. We'll see you next week. Crazy week. Going to be UFC 318 week. G, we appreciate you. We'll see you soon.
I'll see you guys.
Bye, G.
The Savage Robertson.